Guido Cozzi. He's a professor of macroeconomics at the University of St Gallen in Switzerland. Welcome to the program, Professor. Now, much like the Chinese mainland, Hong Kong has adopted a COVID-0 approach to fight the pandemic. How's that affecting their economy?
Well, the COVID-0 approach actually worked in the first half of the year, because it's true that the third quarter is not so exciting, but the first two quarters have witnessed a high growth rate in Hong Kong. And actually, we didn't see any of these positive growth rates in the past nearly 2 years, because also the second part of 2019 was heavily disturbed by political issues and protests, and therefore GDP grew negatively. Instead, in the first two quarters of 2021, GDP grew massively despite the COVID-0 measures. Now, what we are seeing now in Q3 is more the effect of the difficulty of the Chinese economy to get over the power shortages problems and the supply chain problems, in my opinion. It's true that we also see a tightening of some of the travel restrictions, especially exceptions are no more considered for some class of travelers. But in my opinion, the COVID-0 policy is more a long-run problem than a short-run problem. So it may affect the business climate and induce foreign personnel with good outside option to leave the country. But we will see the bad effects of this later on. For the moment, in my opinion, the COVID-0 policy has mainly positive effects. Of course, it penalizes some sectors, tourism, for example, but exports and the financial sector is not immediately affected by that.
Now, Hong Kong, of course, has long been China's gateway to the rest of the world. But now, as you mentioned there, we're seeing supply chain bottlenecks really overwhelming the rest of the world's infrastructure. Is that also being felt in the Chinese region?
It is felt in the Chinese region, but in the Hong Kong special administrative region, but not so strongly. The exports data are not bad. So I don't think it is more severely affecting Hong Kong than the rest of the world. The problem is that being a trade and financial transactions important on Hong Kong, obviously this city will reflect what is happening elsewhere. So we see problems that some economists are even seeing the danger of stagflation in Western countries, if not even in China, to some extent, of course, to a very mild extent. So this will reflect on Hong Kong, but in my opinion, they are dealing very well with the supply chain problem. Again, I think the COVID-0 problem, alongside the political issues that afflict that region, are more a long-term problem. In fact, we see in the data that lots of foreign workers are leaving, pension plans, funds are being withdrawn, and foreign firms are leaving. But I think this is related to the long-term consequences of shutting down the country, to the possibility of in and outs. So it is more the psychological climate around foreign workers that is creating a problem. And what we risk now in Hong Kong is that people with good options abroad will leave, whereas those who remain will be people with not so attractive options abroad, which means probably that the level of skills and talents of this international financial and trade hub is going down.
All right. Professor Cozzi, joining us from Switzerland, thank you for the analysis.